All right, this is the Greenway Advisory Committee meeting, November 20th, 2023. We do have a quorum. I'd like to call this meeting to order. First item of business here is to approve the minutes from the last meeting. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. So just to kind of recap, today is mostly an informational meeting. We talked a little bit about what it would look like moving forward with the Greenway expansion, without pavilion, some extra features. So I believe Andrew's got an update for us.
I do. As far as last meeting, I know we had discussed about the engineering costs were astronomically high compared to what was originally quoted or budgeted for. And then we had talked about removing different aspects of those designs. I went to the city engineer after this meeting that we had last time, and he said that the roughly $400,000 cost for engineering would be just for the walking trail. So there would be no reason essentially to take away any design element of that original submittal to the Corps, just because, like we discussed before, we want to add those details in, so in case in the future we want to go back and add a pier or a parking lot or a playground, anything of that nature, it will already be in the original documents to the Corps. But that's pretty much the only update at the moment, as far as, I guess, we're really waiting for funding. So that will be part of the next fiscal year is what it's budgeted for, as far as funding.
And I did take a look at our budget. It looks like they're looking forward to $400,000 in the 24-25 budget. So that is looking like a possibility next fiscal year.
When does that fiscal year begin? What month?
1st of July.
July.
Yes, sir. And like Andrew was saying, we don't want to start pulling things away from it to try to make it cheaper on our end, because 20 years down the road, 10 years down the road, if you want to add that back in there, then it's like pulling teeth. So if we add everything on the front end and only, say we add 10 elements on the front end and only do 2, 3 years down the road, we want to add another, we can without having to go back and get that approval. So as long as they approve everything on the front end, 15 years down the road, we add piers, we're good to go. 10 years, we add piers. But if it's not in there, then you have to go through the whole process again.
Any questions, comments, concerns, ideas about all that? What does it look like for pavilion only
As far
at the ramp? That's my only idea, thought.
For a pavilion,
so no walking trail or just what?
Not the walking trail, just putting the pavilion that would, assumingly someday, be part of the end of the walking trail at the boat ramp.
well, the end of our walking trail was going to be at the parking
lot. Yes.
We had envisioned adding a bathroom structure there on the front end, whether we built it on the front end or not.
Sure.
I'm not 100% sure. Is there a pavilion added into that one?
Yes. The pavilion is, the parking lot is originally stated as coming off when you're going down to the boat ramp. It'll be on the left.
Right.
The pavilion would sit down there also. So are you saying that you, instead of,
Just throwing out possibilities, scenarios, different scenarios, as to anything we could do.
as far as that original $400,000 for the engineering fees, that's just for the 1.3 miles of
Right.
paved surface. Anything else would be part of phase 2, or we'd have to ask for additional funding from BOMA for
Gotcha.
that.
Okay. Any other input on that? Like I said, today was mostly just public update as far as where we are, what the plan is going forward. I don't have too much to add other than just trying to play around with some different ideas that we could potentially get something in motion.
I've got a question to ask about trail, that new walking trail that they're putting in up there behind, which is gonna be behind the city hall, where is it going to end?
I'm not
Around
sure if
City
it
Hall
filters
back there?
back out towards the roundabout, or if it just circles the new the new Public Works building.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Okay,
Yeah, that's kind of a whole different design that we really haven't had our eyes on a whole lot. I know eventually, right there around that roundabout area, we would like to put a playground at some point.
yeah. That had
And
been
have all
talked
that kind of
about.
tie back into the Greenway, since
Yeah.
it's just right across the street.
Yeah, that playground there around the roundabout had been talked about quite a while back.
Well, it's in the works, and we've applied for a turnkey grant on that for the last 3 years. It's a Blue
Okay.
Cross Blue Shield grant.
Okay.
And it's still out there, so we usually find out whether we've gotten it or not by December each year.
I was asked about, a playground or, not necessarily that, for older kids that don't play ball. I had some friends come visit, and he said, y'all don't have anything for the older kids here? You just play, unless you play ball? I said, no, that's it.
Yeah, and like most of your play structures in your typical playgrounds are like 2 to 3 or 2 to 5 and then 5 to
Yeah.
12.
Yeah,
So unless you've got a park that is like a zip line park or something geared towards the older kids, 12 years old is usually that cutoff for play, standard
Yeah.
play equipment.
okay.
The question I have on the $400,000 engineering, what's included in that? Is that just the design of the Greenway itself? Is that,
That's pretty much the design drawings, because the Corps Engineers requires basically 100% detailed drawings
okay,
before we can even start the project.
okay,
Originally, when the city was talking to the Corps, I believe there was a 35% design is what they were basing their budget on. I think that was $78,000 is the rough number, I believe. And then when we got to working with the Corps, the real estate department requires the 100%. So that's why we are having to provide all those documents to the Corps engineers.
Anyone else? All right, well, thanks, guys, for the hard work and updates. Unless we get some new information, I'm not really sure. I mean, you guys will keep in touch if there's something else to come up. I'm not really sure when. Looks like our next meeting scheduled for February 19th, 2024. Pending on if we actually have an agenda at that time or not, we'll determine if we meet or not.
okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, with that, I call this meeting adjourned.
All right.